Exactly. Ding. The chime of the bell calls us into a sacred time. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Houston, where we widen love's circle by honoring the inherent worth and dignity of all. We extend a heartfelt and inclusive invitation to join us in meaningful worship and in service to the world. Buenos días y bienvenidos a esta comunidad donde ampliamos el círculo del amor y honorando el valor y la dignidad inherentes de todas. We greet all of you who join us this morning. We hope those who are watching the live stream will fill out our online attendance form and refer to the many announcements in our online order of service. We ask those of you here in person to take a moment after the service and introduce yourself to someone you don't know. This morning we honor a time to celebrate the earth and appreciate those who have worked towards protecting it, whether through love and care of gardening, through the strength of activism, through changing habits and helping others to do so, or through ideas and creativity that will support our resilience going forward. We are grateful. Today is a special multi-generational service, which means that our children will be staying with us for the whole time. We're happy to have them here, burbling away, and welcome one and all. Now please join Dr. Rock and Carol for our first hymn.
Good morning. You will find the words in your order of service. My roots go down, and I invite you in body and spirit to join us. Rise if you would like, and we are going to be moving. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. I am a willow waiting in the wind. I am a willow waiting in the wind. I am a willow blowing in the wind. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. I am an acorn waiting to be born. I am an acorn waiting to be born. I am an acorn waiting to be born. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. About one more time, my roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down.
Today we celebrate Earth Day, and so three themes come together. Ecofeminism, which interweaves care and justice for women and all marginalized being with care and justice for the earth. Ecofeminism reminds us that we are each a part of entangled empathy and that are obliged to take compassion and action so that we might alleviate the conditions of suffering in the world. Our second theme helps us look at the ways that plants and animals function to help humans design a sustainable world. How do we find inspiration in the interdependent web of life, in permaculture, to live our lives according to our values and help the world be a place where all people, animals, and beings thrive? Finally, we share ideas and music that connect our roots, held tight by community and grounded in Unitarian Universalist principles and values. To the branches of hope and justice we offer into the world that show our connections to the earth. So in the spirit of these three themes, I invite you, friends, to worship together.
Please look in your order of service and join me in the reading of our congregational covenant. Love is the spirit of our congregation. Service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to encourage one another. Thus do we covenant.
My name is John Sayers.
And I'm Leti Manzano.
So I've been coming to the church now for just about a year. And I came because I was looking for community. And I was amazed at how quickly I was able to find that community, how I was able to fit in and find a place. And when I found that, I wanted to make a contribution. I wanted to give. And I have had that opportunity to do that.
And my name is Leti, and this is my husband, John. And I've been coming at John's invitation for almost a year as well. And we decided to become members pretty quickly. For me, the draw to this community is the values that it holds. I had never been to any spiritual or religious community that just everything they said and everything that they did and every sermon that I heard really hit deep down in my heart. And so that's why I decided to become a member. And with membership, we decided to pledge to the church. I think it's really important. Some of you may have heard me speak before on behalf of the place where I work, which is a nonprofit. And I truly believe that investing in your community is important. And no matter how much you can give, what we would really like is for you to pledge. Because if 100 of you can pledge $1 a week, it's not asking much, that would be $5,000 extra for the programs that are important to me and probably important to you that happen here at First UU.
The wisdom of the great chief Seattle reminds us all things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the children of the earth.
All things share the same breath, beast, tree, the man. The air shares its spirit with all the life it supports.
We did not weave the web of life. we are merely a strand in it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. This we know.
This morning we celebrate all of our congregation's wonderful volunteers. More than 200 of our members and friends volunteer to share your time and talents so that our community can be vibrant, life-giving, justice-making, and spirit-filled. You serve on the board, in the religious education program, as worship associates, in the choir and the music program, as part of our social justice and community service efforts, welcoming visitors, working towards addressing the climate crisis, offering free yoga, a nurturing vegan potluck, and so much more. It would be impossible to list all of the things that the wonderful volunteers of this community do. You make the congregation, our city, and the world a better place. So this Volunteer Appreciation Sunday, I would like to invite you to give everyone who makes First Unitarian Universalist the great place it is a warm round of applause. And to show our appreciation, we're offering a free brunch after this service and a free lunch after the second service. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Right, now we come to a really fun part of our service where we are going to do a kind of makeshift play. And so we invite any children who would like to come up. The children are going to be a tree and some rain, and we would love to have you if you would like to come up. Come on up now.
There's room. Come on. No?
You can come whenever you want. We'll start now.
There's always new trees growing in the forest, so there's always. A seed was tucked inside a seed cone, hanging high on the branch of a high tree. A squirrel grabbed the cone and scampered down the tree. The seed yelled, "Hey there, what are you doing? Help! Help!" The squirrel buried the seed in a special spot for a winter snack.
Since I had no choice, I was stuck underground for months.
Luckily, the squirrel had lots of special spots and forgot where this seed was buried.
I rested and waited.
And over the days, it rained and rained and rained and rained. And then the sun shone high in the sky. And when it was ready, the seed sprouted at the base of a giant tree. It quickly grew into a seedling.
I'm a seedling now, and my roots reach underground.
Threaded between the seedling's roots was a silky net of fungi, a web that stretched from root to root and beyond. Through this web, the forest passed secrets. The trees talked to each other through their roots. They spoke of danger, of drought, and pests. They spoke of what one tree needed and another had to give. The seedling began to listen. Its neighbor, the giant tree, shared nutrients from the giant web and brought water from deep in the ground.
Woo! I needed that.
There is so much that goes on with trees that we humans cannot see. It's miraculous and amazing. I like to think that trees and fungi are having a kind of intelligence that we should honor and revere. We have seen here that trees share information and listen. What might it be like if we were more like trees? I invite everyone in the congregation to say it with me. I'd like to be more like a tree.
I'd like to be more like a tree.
One more time.
I'd like to be more like a tree.
Many thanks to our talented actors and appreciation to Tara Kelly. Her book, Listen to the Language of the Trees, a story of how forests communicate underground, provided inspiration, language, and ideas for our play. And we now invite our children to return to sit with their families for the rest of the service. It's you. Okay. I thought it was.
This time, I'd like to invite anyone who would enjoy doing so to find the paper and colors that are at the end of the pew. And during the next part of the service, imagine an animal or a plant that you like and take some time to draw it. And later during the service, during our last hymn, we will invite you to parade with your papers, starting at the back and coming up the center aisle during the last hymn. So if anybody needs drawing materials, they can find them at the end of most of the pews. All right.
Enter with me into the space that some call prayer and others name meditation. Open yourself to the wonders and mysteries of the world. Open yourself to compassion and empathy. Take one breath. Take another. find your center. Spirit of life, known by many names, called God, Goddess, Elohim, Allah, the divine, by some, understood by others as the highest aspiration within the human heart, love, the force that drives life forward. We invoke you this Sunday, on which many observe Earth Day or prepare for Passover. Two holy times, one contemporary, the other ancient. They each call in their own way for a commitment to honor, spring, hope, and the ever-present possibility of renewal. Earth Day. We are all children of this planet, each a part of this planet. Our bones, the minerals, the soil, the substance, animated with the breath of life, oxygen that carbon cycles from animal to plant and back again. Our blood, the ocean, the sea, the rivers, the rain, the water of life, moving through each of us, each connected, each part of all. Passover. In every generation, Pharaoh. In every generation, the struggle for liberation. The quest for freedom is never finished. The establishment of any nation, the adoration of any government, the exaltation of any leader does not bring it. For freedom, the festival reminds us, is a constant struggle. Spirit of life, present in these festivals, in these holy times, we ask that you move through each of us and connect each to all on this day, and cause us to recall that by just being alive, we are each challenged to do what we can to be good children of the earth and care for the all of which we are a part. Cause us also to remember that we're each charged to work for liberation and freedom, for no one is truly free until all are free. Palestinian, Israeli, Sudanese, Ukrainian, Russian, citizen of the United States, refugee, no one is free until everyone is free. Might these recollections strengthen each of our hearts and spirits. So that they might do so, I invite the congregation to say Amen. We pause now to lift up those in need of healing in our community. We lift up Thomas Haney, who's been hospitalized and will be transitioning to assisted living. We pray that he has a speedy recovery and an easy transition. We offer him healing prayers and now turn to a practice inspired by African, indigenous, and neo-pagan communities. We say aloud or bring to mind those we wish to hold in the loving embrace of this religious community. In this great cloud of witness and memory, amid this beloved community, we hear these names and hold them in our hearts. As we do, let us also hold with compassion the suffering and celebrate the joy amid and among our community that remains unnamed. We pause now in awe and wonder of the beauty, diversity, and mystery that is life. And so in the spirit of love, in the spirit of hope, and in the spirit of compassion, I invite each of you to enter into a time of silent meditation, reflection, or prayer.
Each week, our morning offering is shared with an organization that shares our Unitarian Universalist values and through which we may live out our principles in the world. This week, we are again donating to the fund Tending Soil, the leadership training initiative of UU The Vote. We need every eligible voter to cast their ballot this fall. Your donation will help fund the efforts to help make sure that happens. This morning, we welcome member Yeglin Escalante to tell us more.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to tell you a little bit more about our Share the Plate offering this week. Many of you know and have participated in the Unitarian Universalist program, UU The Vote. UU The Vote parent group, Side with Love, has created a program to help us be even more effective in our social justice work. 5 of us, with the help of the Justice Coordinating Council, are participating and learning for the next 6 months, and we will be supporting First UU's work to protect democracy and voting our values. The UUA and Side with Love have asked each congregational team to contribute $5 per member of our congregation to help defray the cost of developing and running the program. We are already a third of the way there, and Share the Plate is an opportunity to side with love, UU The Vote, and each other in our social justice work. Thank you.
Those in our sanctuary will find the instructions for text giving in the order of service, next to the name of the shared offering recipient. And those watching the live stream will see instructions on your screen. Our regular Sunday morning offering collection invites us to weave a tapestry of love and action. We ask you to give generously. An offering will now be gratefully accepted.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Please join me in reading the words to dedicate our offering found in your order of service. To the work of this church, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives, and these are our offerings. We've chosen a poem by Mary Oliver to read together, so please turn to your order of service to read the poem with me responsively I'll read the plain text and invite you to read the italics. I believe in the soul, in mine and yours, and the blue jays and the pilot whales. And the ragweed too, plant by plant, and the grains of the earth as well. Nor emotionally, nor metaphorically. Absolutely. Here ends our reading.
And now for our second reading, we share excerpts from How to Be More Like a Tree by Liz Marvin. The first two excerpts is called Learn from Your Past, like the Corskin's pine. Just like the people, trees flourish when they learn from their past experiences. One of the most challenging things for a tree is high winds, which blow even stronger on the kind of exposed slopes the Corskin pine tends to grow on. If you're the tree at the edge of the forest, you're going to get hit by the wind even harder. So trees that grow on the forest fringes adapt to being buffeted by each winter's winds by changing how they grow, developing a more tapered and stronger trunk. The second of our two excerpts is called Make the Most of Your Community Like the Douglas Fir. Just like humans, trees benefit from having a support network. Scientists used to wonder why trees like the Douglas fir grow close together, potentially getting in each other's light. It turns out that their roots are connected with the help of fungus in the soil, meaning they can pass nutrients back and forth. When it's important to the rest of the community, the Douglas fir uses this network to nurture the next generation and even keep alive the stump of a tree that has fallen down. And the community isn't just Douglas firs. They're happy to help out their neighbors, even when they are a different tree species.
And now I invite you to look in your order of service at the text for our next hymn, The Earth is Our Mother. Please rise in body or in spirit and join Carol and I as we sing.
Sacred ground we walk upon.
Entangled empathy. It was a new phrase to me. And since I read it, I've been intrigued. And it's where I'm headed. Because I feel like an alien in my own culture much of the time. Do you? I feel like it doesn't fit me, and that it fails to create a healthy environment for humans in general. Making money, gathering more toys and stuff, status, fame, competition. And then there's that planned obsolescence. Things can't be repaired, but can only be replaced with new ones. It's a throwaway culture. So how did we create a culture that was so alien and one that seems to be more and more strange? I think part of it is how big we are. We have so many humans now, and it has affected the systems that we use and those that have a huge impact on our lives. Think about social media and how people can be crushed by responses from people who don't know them. The trolls can do what they do because of their identity being secret. Anonymity allows its own kind of cruelty. And I believe human beings do best when we can know each other. When human groups are very large, we lose the ability to do so. When we don't know people personally, we don't feel as obligated to them. If you and I know each other, I don't want to see you and feel you suffering. But when cities and countries are large, we never see the person we are affecting by our behavior, or not often, and we are less likely to be concerned. I don't think it's because we're mean or uncaring. I think that it's actually because we have limited capacity. There isn't a moral obligation to care for the other. In fact, many laws have been created to create room for immoral choices, choices that benefit those in power and hurt others. Think about how the shareholders are held more important than the workers. Our lives are entangled, but we lack empathy. In huge groups, we cannot know the leaders we are choosing very well. What we learn about them could be lies or propaganda, and we don't have lived experience with the leader. When groups are small, we likely directly know the people we are choosing from within our group to lead, to know if they would do a good job. In the Minangkabau tribe, in the islands of northeastern side of Australia, the men hold religious and political offices, but are chosen and can be removed by a group of women elders. Talk about checks and balances. In societies like ours, where rising to power is a combination of privilege and personal desire, it is more self-serving by design. And I want to pause here to appreciate the exception. Those who take leadership positions because they truly want to serve people and create a better society. There are definitely many. David Brooks wrote an article in the New York Times recently called "The Quiet Magic of Middle Managers." Yes, middle managers. He calls them the unsung heroes of our age because he says, amid a wider national atmosphere of division, distrust, bitterness, and exhaustion, these managers are the frontline workers who try to resolve tensions, keep communities working, their teams united, and relationships afloat. These members of the middle manager group are the invisible glue that gives us a shot at sticking together. He's talking about ethical leadership. Think Ted Lasso, who knows that growth for the people you work with is the main job, not the product you are paid to produce. We can't do this without relationship, and relationship has much more of a chance to happen when the groups are smaller and people can know each other. So there are forces working against even our hero middle managers, of course. There are the forces of capitalism and patriarchal systems, And underneath every department, at every corporation, and every team, at every nonprofit, the truth is that our society constantly extracts from and overuses the Earth's resources and uses and abuses people with less power. The connection between the abuse of the Earth and the abuse of people in our systems is examined in a field called ecofeminism. The ecofeminist author Greta Gard says, "How we treat the Earth and how we treat each other is inextricably linked." And she talks about entangled empathy. I love the word entangled. It reminds me of the net in the play. We are entangled in these large systems where our leaders become overwhelmed. Systems are forced to work for large numbers and don't scale well. This situation is true on our own city council. In Houston, each council person represents more than 200,000 people. There's no way that that person can start to know their constituents in any kind of real way. And how can there be empathy or even true service for citizens? World population numbers show us more. In 1950, 74 years ago, our population was 2.5 billion. A reminder that 1 billion, I need these reminders, 1 billion is 100 times a million. So 2.5 billion is already a lot of humans. But the Earth is a big place. But in just 7 decades, or 3 generations, we have more than 8 billion people. 3 generations, we quadruple the population. This huge change is not only affecting us within our civilizations, in our leadership and culture, as I have mentioned, but it is affecting the physical Earth's ability to sustain us. Perhaps the pushing to the brink of sustainability wasn't inevitable. There were times when human beings had sustainable practices. If we had continued more sustainable practices and our numbers grew, we wouldn't be creating so much carbon in the warming trend and the weather catastrophes. But the growth and the practices we chose are, of course, intertwined. And that's another piece of the story. One reason the population has grown is due to the human beings having enough control over food supply, access to energy to do work, as well as increased stability for some, which creates a situation in which we increase our offspring and live much longer. The world population is still growing, but it has slowed quite a bit. That, I think, is good news for our Earth. I care deeply about the Earth. I care, of course, about humans, but also about sparrows and bees. I care even about possums and snakes, and the white rhino, and pecan trees and flowers. And of course, it's natural for us to care about our own species. But I'd like to propose that we find a balance, and that each day when we awaken, we think about our deep connections to these other beings. I've been thinking about plants lately. They are just amazing. Human beings can't do the same thing plants do. Plants can be dormant for a while in the form of a seed. The seed is just lying there in the dirt or underground. But it is the next generation that's hanging on until the right time for flourishing. Some plants can create a blossom that stuns the senses with beauty and fragrance. Plants are not a lower life than humans. There, I said it. I want to be more like a plant, more like a tree. So this year, I'm going to really, really pay attention to plants. And I'm going to say no aloud to those daily messages I get that humans are the most important on the planet and should be able to take whatever we want for our own creature comforts and use up our dear Mother Earth. I'm going to see ways that I can be more like a plant, using their lives and their amazing capabilities, inspiration for my life and my choices. One of our Unitarian Universalist principles, the 7th one, calls for reverence for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. Interdependent. We cannot exist without each other. All things are connected. The web, it's like this multiple connections of us and other beings. And we are a part which has two sides. One, which is that we humans are connected to the cool plants, but also that what we do has consequences, and we owe it to our plant and animal siblings to get it right. This is entangled empathy. And Thich Nhat Hanh wrote a book called Love Letter to the Earth. And in it, he says, the Earth has already experienced a lot of suffering in the past from which she has managed to recover. She has experienced natural disasters, such as collisions with other planets, as well as severe periods of drought, forest fires, and earthquakes, and yet she has been able to restore herself after all of those events. Now we are putting so much strain on her by polluting the atmosphere, warming the planet, and poisoning the oceans that she can't heal on her own. We cannot just rely on her to take care of us, but we need to take care of her. We need to realize that the conditions that help restore the balance don't come from outside of us, they come from inside of us, from our own mindfulness, our own level of awareness, and our own awakened consciousness is what can heal the earth. Those words speak to me. Like so much other change in the world, an inner awareness is key. One awareness is the magic of other species. Gratitude and reverence are gained when we tune in, regularly feeling appreciation for plants and animals and the earth, understanding our interdependence, feeling deep love and care. We regularly sing the song in closing circle, "The earth is our mother," and we sing that she will take care of us, and we must take care of her. But what to do with the very large forces that are against our values and the culture that feels alien, and the way we humans aren't quite fitting with the large numbers? And I end with a few ideas that might resonate with you, that might fit with your values and call you to a kind of deep, empathetic local action. One is to read something inspiring every morning or evening as a ritual. I can recommend a book called Earthbound Daily Meditations for All Seasons by Brian Nelson. His reading for today's date, April the 21st, says this, quote, "Bamboo records found in the tomb of an ancient Chinese emperor reveal that the solar eclipse took place on this date in 1899 BC. The ancients wrote, 'The sun rose twice today.' The eclipse was a marvel to people, and yet the wonder was greater than they knew. They could never have imagined, perhaps, who knows what they could have imagined? They could have never have imagined that nearly 3 million millennia later, a team of historians, linguists, cosmologists, and computer programmers would work together to verify their observations. With every orbit of spheres, with every turn of the heavens, we are connected in awe to generations long gone and generations yet to come. Look to the skies and to the ties that bind us through time itself." Reading something each day helps connect us to the earth and to ancient peoples. It's inspiring, and it helps us pay attention to different things throughout the day than we might have done. The second of my few recommendations is to get together with others, to do something deeply meaningful together, something that changes you and changes our community, and do so over time. That's how we develop relationships and grow. They are there also, and when we need to depend on them, when we are faltering. When we meet together regularly, that's when it starts to really matter. It's also how we stay engaged. The doing something together is one of the reasons why I love church and Unitarian Universalism. This is where I feel like I can find my best values being upheld, and it's where I walk with others to try to live out our lives, our best lives, in a way that feels right. My final recommendation is to pay attention to our siblings, the other animals and plants. Let's consider our choices and how they affect the others on the planet. The systems we live in are truly and absolutely against us, so we must be careful not to overwhelm ourselves. But we can choose to do something and do it regularly. As a bonus, do it with a friend. It's possible to find locally grown foods, build a small garden, start a compost and learn how it works, eat mostly plants, learn about permaculture, join our climate action team, plant trees with the church twice a year, or this one's cool, go on a walk with your children or grandchildren whenever you can, maybe every day, and choose to pay attention to any animals or plants that you see. Jaime Gonzalez, a local plant expert and environmental activist, says that children knowing their own natural environment is not only important in shifting our future connection to our local habitat, but brings great joy and grounding to children and their families. Yes, even in Houston, you can find amazing plants and animals. And I have done it with a walk that I remember S's, as to create an awareness as I go through the walk. Did this with my kids too. What is in my sight? First S, sight. What do I sense? That's when you see what you feel on your skin. What's in the sky, so that we look up and aren't just looking here, but you look up, and almost every time I look up, I see a bird fly by. What is my stance, so I feel my body in its relationship to the earth and my walking? What do I smell? And what are the sounds that I hear? Sight, sense, sky, stance, smell, sounds. Awareness in the moment is brought forward through these questions. And it's a way to reduce stress and, of course, feel present. So many forces are against us, and while sometimes necessary, fighting is exhausting. I want to spend the next year in nurturing mode, like the middle managers, fostering growth and providing support, making choices that lean into relationships that can bring joy and feelings of closeness and meaning, knowing that smaller communities do make a difference, at least in their own spaces. And sometimes we can make a difference within our community by living the way we want the world to be. This is where we live out our entangled empathy with other people and the earth and move towards justice and thriving. May it be so. In a few minutes, it will be time for those who have colored pictures of animals and plants to parade down the aisle and show them off. Let's have all of today's artists, whether you are young or older, to go to the back of the sanctuary, then come up the middle aisle when the hymn starts. And hold up your art for all to see. And once you've gone all the way to the front, then take the side aisle back to your seat.
I invite all of you to remain seated because we're going to have the parade and we want to be able to see the children as they walk down with their offerings. And so in your order of service, you'll see the words, "For we shall be known by the company we keep." Please join together in song.
Please join me in reading the words to extinguish our chalice, found in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
It is time now that we thrive. May we be more like trees. When we want things to happen immediately, may we have patience. May we remember that deep roots help us to be resilient. May we remember that storms come and go, seasons past, and that rest mixed with persistence will help us to survive. What a time to be alive. May it be so. Thank you for joining us. We want to know who you are and would love to connect with you. Please fill out the link to the online attendance form, and if you are on YouTube, click like and subscribe. If you're interested in joining our congregation, email us at membership@firstuuhouston.org. Thanks so much.